some noise! If you want the Rock Williams ass to this ring, give me a hell yeah!
Well, I'm happier than a 12-year-old schoolboy in the Divas locker room. I'm W.B. Ward, along with...
And I am happier than a...
Yes?
Chip Douglas.
You being the married guy on here, you got to be real careful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I am the Chip Douglas.
Oh, man. Well, I see. I can talk.
Why are you happy?
Man, I got to tell you that the SummerSlam has got to be one of the better pay-per-views that I've seen in an awful long time. And then the following night, of course, Monday Night Raw, and I was equally pleased with that. And as you know, the track record that I've been displaying here on this here show for the past few weeks, I haven't been a real big WWE fan.
Right.
But they pretty much redeemed themselves in my book. They really did. I was really, really, really happy. Maybe that's because I out-predicted you on almost every match. I don't know if that would have anything to do with it or not, but not that I'm one to rub your nose in anything, but.
So speaking of our Twitter page,
yes,
yeah, I'm calling BS on all that.
Right.
But you can follow us on Twitter at SCI_Wrestling, our YouTube page, which is where you can go listen to the shows for right now, which is SCI Wrestling, and then our Facebook page is Square Circle Insider Wrestling, which I have seen an increase of followers on Facebook, especially on Facebook. So we want to thank everyone who is listening, who will be listening, that follows our Facebook page. Thank you for following us on Facebook.
Absolutely.
But also just make a Twitter page. Follow us on that. We've had some more followers on Twitter as well. We went from 50 to 60. So that means 10 more followers. And if we continue at this rate, we will reach the $1 million mark when I am old.
Hopefully we'll hit that by the end of the week.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you never know.
Okay, I know that you and I kind of made a secret pact. Secret only because nobody knew about it but us, and
exactly.
That was only up until a few minutes ago. That this episode tonight is going to be free of any promos or free of any commercials, except I just felt we had to do this. Oh, yeah, the official theme from SummerSlam. I mean, I was so impressed with it. I thought, we got to give it a little bit of musical homage. Granted, I don't like the music. Well, no, you know what you're doing just now? Oh, look at it. You go get down with your funky self. I don't know if I should slip you a dollar bill or...
give me a Quaalude.
Or Quaalude, yeah.
Calm down.
Man, that's got to be jelly because jam don't shake that way.
And this was brought to us by the artist Wyclef Jean.
Yes.
Thank God I said that, because last week you couldn't say that.
No, I couldn't. I still can't pronounce it. I don't know who that is. Don't have a clue. Don't want to know. I just like the show with which it was attached.
And for personal opinion, SummerSlam was one of the better pay-per-views.
Yes, it was.
My personal opinion overall, and of course we're going to dissect all the matches here on this show, but it was really concentrated for me around 3 matches, or actually concentrated around 2 matches for me, 3 matches delivered. Mm-hmm. But those 3 matches, I think, saved the whole pay-per-view. Definitely one of the better SummerSlams that I can remember of recent memory. Some of them should have been better than what they were, but yes, definitely a great pay-per-view.
As any show will go, it had its ups and downs. But I felt overall the show was orchestrated in such that it actually had a pretty decent flow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it did for the most part. I think some of the matches and gimmicks that were introduced was very lacking, and some of the orders on which the matches were done were off.
Well, and that kind of brings us to our very first match of the night, which was the pre-show that everybody got to see for free. And of course, they all got their money's worth, and that could be kind of argued. But that was the match between RVD and Ambrose, right, of the Shield. Now on this, the only reason why either you or I really had any criticism of this was because they just kind of threw it together at the last minute.
Yeah.
And at least that's the way it seemed.
There was no build up.
No, there was none whatsoever. And the way this match was performed, it was okay. But I've seen RVD do a heck of a lot better.
Well, because these are 2 very good performers in the ring. RVD is very good at performing. Dean Ambrose, in my opinion, is a very good performer, a future world champion, in my opinion.
Possibly.
And with this match only getting a really 1 week build up because RVD won the Battle Royal to get this shot, it was very lackluster as far as build up. Were they able to perform under the circumstances? I thought they did all right.
Yeah.
I mean,
now they could have built onto this.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though they had it set so that RVD had to win that one match in order to even get into it. They have started plenty of storylines before that and worked it out so he won anyway.
Right.
So, I mean, they could have built this up sooner.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty obvious what the outcome of this was going to be. I think it's the only one that we did. Wait, did I predict this?
Yes, you did.
Well, I think
I'm so glad you brought this up. Yeah.
But actually, I was right.
You
were right by technicality.
No. You know, they always say in wrestling, you're either in the W column or you're in the L column. Would you like to care to hazard a guess which of those two you fall into?
I fall in the shades of gray column.
Yes, folks, it's right. I out-predicted Chip on this one.
Now wait.
I did.
No,
I predicted RVD would win, and RVD did win.
By
disqualification. We didn't put any stipulation on that. What do you mean?
Which means who walks out of it with the title?
What walks out and your hand held high, or at least figuratively. And RVD did in fact win. Sure. Now you don't mean to tell me you couldn't see Ambrose and the Shield getting involved in being disqualified?
I actually thought, well, yes, I did. But I did not think that RVD would win by DQ. I thought it would be Dean Ambrose winning with help from the Shield. So from that aspect, yes, you were right.
Okay. Let's continue, shall we?
Go ahead. I guess.
Now here's the big match. And this is something you touched on a second ago, was the order of matches was somewhat off.
Right.
I don't feel like this next one should have been the actual opening match for SummerSlam.
Not at all. I was excited.
Yes, I was too. This is the match that actually I wasn't even going to get SummerSlam until they announced this match a few weeks ago. And I decided I've got to see this. And that, of course, was the Ring of Fire match between Bray Wyatt, that's hard to say, and Brother Kane.
Yep.
A little bit of wrestling history here. I know you know this now, but I don't think you would have known this had you not been visiting with me a few weeks ago. But Kane is not the original Kane. You remember?
No, hold on.
Yes, because do you remember who the first wrestling character in WWE, or actually then WWF, was called Kane?
Wait, was it the Undertaker?
Yep, that was the Undertaker's original name when he was first introduced into the ring, and when he made his WWF debut, they referred to him as Kane the Undertaker.
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
And then later on, they developed the storyline with Kane being his brother, his long-lost brother, and they let a lot of water flow into that bridge so that they wouldn't think anybody would remember, except morons like me. So,
and also Kane was also set on fire when he was younger too.
Yes,
which is kind of convenient because now his wrestling I don't want to say uniform, but his uniform is a whole lot less than what it was before.
Yes, it's true. His mask is completely diminutive, and remember he had one of those little voice boxes that he talked through when he first
and now
came
he
in.
can talk.
Yes, now he can talk.
It's a miracle.
Well, so can Hornswoggle. So miracles, yes, friends, miracles can happen. And this is Kane's, to my knowledge, this is Kane's second Ring of Fire match. His first one was a few years ago against, I believe it was his brother, The Undertaker.
There was one more.
Was there one more?
Yeah, there was actually, I remember two that he was in. Because he's the only person I remember ever being set on fire, and he was set on fire on both of them. One was against The Undertaker at a pay-per-view. In the second one, I don't remember if it was against Undertaker or Mankind, but I remember Kane being set on fire on that one too. But so I remember two.
Didn't that happen backstage?
No, it was actually on the Raw.
It was Jim Ross they set on fire backstage in a promo.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Woo!
Whole lot of burning going on there.
A whole lot of shaking going on.
But in this match, it was through interference, not surprisingly, from the Wyatt family, that caused Bray Wyatt to win the match. Of course, they had the scenario. I love the touch with having the firefighters ringside. I don't think they've ever done that before.
No.
But they had the Bray Wyatt's brothers or his family come smother the flames on one edge of the ring with an asbestos rug that they called it, and of course they go in and interfere with the match, helping Kane actually win this one. Which now this one here, as far as predictions, I did not predict this one because I felt the outcome was going to be beneficial for the WWE one way or the other. So I didn't even predict. You, however, did predict it, and you predicted correctly. So you and I, at the end of that match, were tied one prediction apiece.
Of course.
Yes. And yes, I did keep a running tally.
And then that's when it starts to go downhill. But as far as the aspect of this particular match, I thought, WB and I had very high aspects of this match going into watching SummerSlam. I was very excited about it. It's the reason that he really wanted to watch the pay-per-view because of this match. To me, it was a letdown. I think WB had a hard time signifying the difference between a Ring of Fire match and an Inferno match, because going into it, I didn't grab the concept of someone didn't have to be set on fire.
I knew this one was not one where you had to be set on fire.
Then why don't you just put him in a steel cage?
Because it wouldn't be as pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, having been a former magician, I'm here to tell you, fire sells. That's why they do pyros at shows.
Well, in this aspect, they're right, because fire does sell, because we wouldn't have watched the pay-per-view if it wasn't. That's true.
I wouldn't have bellied out $50 to watch a darn TV show. Okay, so that at least led us up to be tied one apiece on the predictions. Okay, now the next match that was up, thank goodness Cody Rhodes finally dropped that mustache that he had, that floor flusher cookie duster that he had. It just looks stupid on him.
But my only problem with that is we still won't know why that is until Friday. That is so stupid.
Well, do you want the real reason, or do you want the story reason?
I don't care, either one.
The story reason, I don't know. We'll know that on Friday.
Yeah.
But I mean, the simple fact of the matter is, when it comes to leading men, and we're going to be covering this later on with the main match. When it comes to leading men in show business, leading men do not have facial hair. You cannot market them. With the exception of two people, Burl Ives and Santa Claus. Name one leading man that's had a full beard the entire time he was leading man.
Well,
or when he first became a leading man.
As far as like TV show or wrestling?
TV show, wrestling, movies, I don't care.
Al Borland.
No, I'm not saying they don't exist. And Borland is not a leading man, never has been.
That's true.
I'm not saying they
what
don't
about
exist.
Clark Gable?
Just a bare whisper of a mustache.
Okay.
No full beard.
Okay.
But he did have facial hair. I will grant you that. They exist. They are few and far between.
Yeah.
But it is just a well-known, accepted fact within show business that if you want to be a leading man, or a leading woman, especially maybe a leading woman, you do not have facial hair. You have to be shaved clean. That's what the public expects.
B. Arthur.
God rest her soul.
Yeah. I don't know if she had a beard, but I pulled that old name out of my hat.
No, that's actually not a bad
example. Are you impressed that I knew Clark Gable? Come on.
I'm impressed you knew B. Arthur.
Like I said, I saw her on a roast one time of Pamela Anderson's.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I knew she was a Golden Girls girl, but I never knew her real name until that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And yes, I am kind of impressed you knew Clark Gable.
Thank you.
I didn't think anybody your age would know that.
Gone for the wind.
Okay. The next match was one that I almost slept through.
We didn't give our opinion on the match.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
So
yeah.
Rhodes and Sandow.
Incidentally,
our opinion on the
we didn't even
mustache.
say whether or not they won.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cody defeated, Sandow right in the middle of the ring. It was a clean win. I predicted.
And I was wrong.
Yes, you were.
I still stand behind the fact that I think Creative missed something on this one. And I didn't get
They've been doing that a lot lately.
Now, I didn't get to watch all of Raw, but I saw that they had a rematch on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Who won the rematch?
Cody.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am. Cody beat him again.
So why? But this guy holds a briefcase for a world heavyweight title, and you're completely squashing him.
Yep.
Oh, ridiculous.
Yep. To which Cody Rhodes said, "Thank you."
Jeez.
Those of you who watch Raw get that joke.
It will be interesting to see where they go from here.
Yes. And by the way, the prediction score now on the show is I'm 2, you're 1. Okay. Now then the next match I just almost slept through anyway. It was one I was not looking forward to. Del Rio taking on Christian. Del Rio winds up victorious over Christian now this part did surprise me a little bit, by submission. I did not expect to see them letting Christian tap out. But as far as predictions go, I think this is the one that saved you a little bit. Is that our show? I had no prediction, and as much as they did such a poor job in building up the match, I just didn't care. That was it. As a result, the score just remained 2-1.
Well, but the only bad thing for me is I predicted Christian to win.
Yeah.
So I didn't gain anything from this. But from a match standpoint, I completely disagree with you. In fact, on Twitter, I actually gave this match a 4 out of 5.
Really? 4 out of 5 what? Tacos? 4 out of 5 what? Pickles?
Stars.
Stars?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, you have one small universe.
I enjoyed the match.
Did you?
I thought they delivered. I am becoming more of a Del Rio fan with every match I'm watching of him. I think Christian delivered just as well. So I enjoyed the match.
Then you're going to love what I have to say about Del Rio next.
Go ahead.
Okay. You probably have heard that on Monday Night Raw, Ricardo made his return.
Yeah.
After his,
suspension, right? Del Rio turned on him.
Well, after Del Rio turned on him, and he came back in with RVD,
which is weird.
Sis Bamboo, yay, yay, yay! Everybody raises their arms up and points their thumbs at their heads and goes RVD. Okay, but you remember I told you I'd heard a rumor of what's his name? The little guy that stands about 2 foot nothing.
What, Hornswoggle?
No. He's taller than Hornswoggle, just by hair.
Who is that?
Ray.
Oh, Ray
Mysterio.
Ray.
Yeah, Ray Mysterio.
Yeah.
Remember I told you I heard a rumor that he might make an appearance in SummerSlam, which he did not.
Right.
Okay, so much for my sources.
But I'll be honest, I thought it was coming.
However, on Monday Night Raw with Del Rio's speech and with Ricardo coming out with RVD in the manner that they did, kind of leads me to believe that they are building up. Because Del Rio is trying to position himself, or appears to be, his character tries to be positioning himself to be a good guy Mexican wrestler.
Right.
And I think he's going to be intentionally doing a job that's so bad, not even the Mexicans are going to want to have him as a hero. And that is going to be saved by the one and only Rey Mysterio. I honestly think I can see this one coming a mile away.
And you might be right. And I say that from the aspect of, I thought it was very weird how Del Rio did the promo of how, Hispanic people need a hero, even though he's supposed to be a heel. And so I was like, well, maybe they're trying to do like a Bret Hart type angle here, to where Bret Hart was a fan of everyone around the world except for the U.S. when he was feuding with Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels back in the Attitude Era. And so maybe they're trying to twist something like there. But then I did see on a website, and I can't remember the website off the top of my head, that Ray is scheduled to return sometime within the month.
Ah, see, I hadn't heard that. So
so your prediction might be more right than what you think.
Yeah, cool. Okay, you brought up the name Bret Hart. And that leads us right into the next, the next match, which was kind of lackluster. I thought, and I did have some high hopes for it, but it was Natalya taking on, Brie Bella. Of course, my heart fluttered, even though I thought the Bellas were dressed poorly. Poorly they were dressed.
Eva Marie looked good.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
Woo!
Oh, holy moly.
Wow.
Oh, holy moly. Keep the maracas on.
Sure.
Man.
Ah.
I have no idea what that means.
I don't either, but it sounded good.
But Natalya kept Hart and defeated, get the connection? Natalya kept Hart?
Oh, sure.
And defeated Brie Bella. And unfortunately, we didn't predict this match at all. So, yeah, we remained 2-1. Let's see, who was that in the lead? Oh, yeah, that was me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, in one of the most physical matches I have ever been witness to, at least in a long, long, long time. I mean, I really enjoyed the Brock Lesnar.
Wait, before we get to that.
Yes.
I heard on another podcast that someone had problems telling the Bella parts from each other.
Really?
And to me, there's one obvious reason why. And
I can think of two obvious reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I just couldn't believe it. The person couldn't tell.
Couldn't tell that one of the twins had a little bit, augmentation.
Yeah. I was shocked.
Wow.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Wow.
That guy might be flirting with the Darren Young line.
I think so.
Could be.
I think so. Okay. Physical matches. Man, I'm telling you, Brock Lesnar, as Heyman puts it, defeating CM Punk. But man, I was really impressed with this. This was a good show.
Match of the year candidate for sure.
Absolutely. This was just absolute dynamite. And let's see, who predicted the winner on this? I think it was me. Yeah. 3-1. And the reason I'm making a big deal out of this, folks, is because every year for like the last 300 years, I predicted every WrestleMania was going to be the Undertaker's final match. And of course that has never happened. So I'm wallowing in these victories
it's just usually I am very hip and on tune with what creative is going to do.
Okay.
And you're usually way off.
Yes,
which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, that's true.
So I am more on.
Yes.
Than you are.
Yeah. Are you ready to move on here, Walter Cronkite?
No.
Okay.
Because I want to give my opinion on Lesnar Punk.
Okay, go ahead.
I thought it was a spectacular match.
Yes, sir.
This is one of the two matches that I expected to be very well done. The only problem that I had with this match was Heyman getting involved. Mm-hmm. Didn't get over too well, in my opinion. So I thought they could have done a better job on that.
But the build-up they did for the following night was absolutely immaculate.
They did.
That was an immaculate build-up. And of course, 3-1, the final prediction on that one. Okay, mixed tag team action. Moving on. Dolph and Caitlyn victorious over AJ and Big E. It didn't, excuse me.
It did nothing for me.
No.
I could have cared less about this match. And as far as poor booking, very poor booking. This should be like the first match or even pre-show.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
Putting in between Punk and Lesnar and Cena and Bryan, dumb.
It did not happen as I thought it would. But a win, as they say, is a win. Because in fact, Big E did stay in the ring. But this makes the score me for you one.
But let's get to the one.
Yes,
let's get to the one.
Yes. Well.
Exactly. Yes.
Well.
Yes.
He
but then it quickly went to no.
He's an all of Google, even though his prediction did not come through on this, at least as far as the winner is. Now, I've got to give you kudos.
No, I predicted this 100% correct.
No, because you predicted John Cena would win.
No, I did not.
You did too.
I did not. I said Bryan would win.
Oh no! I take that back. You're right. Yeah, both you and I predicted that Bryan.
We both predicted Bryan would win.
However, I'll let you go ahead.
No. You continue because I will. But I will be host for you to gloat about me.
You did say, and I will give you this, and I even gave you an extra point on this one. That following the match, Triple H would give Bryan a pedigree, allowing Orton to come in and cash in his Money in the Bank to take the WWE Championship away from Bryan only minutes after winning over Cena. That not only happened, it happened precisely in the way that you had predicted that. Makes me want to change your name to Reddit.
You're welcome, WWE. I am not Dolphin 1925, by the way. He did not predict
barely a
that.
Flipper.
He did not predict that.
No.
But I tell you what, Chip Douglas at SCI_Wrestling predicted that right.
You were right on the money.
And I didn't need any backstage help from that one.
Now, the following night, this is, I guess, one of the biggest things about this year's SummerSlam that I think was just absolutely dynamite for the WWE was the fact that everything they did on SummerSlam was a setup for Monday Night's Raw. You and I had made that comment a few weeks ago about how professional wrestling storylines are very often like playing pool or playing chess.
Right.
You're not doing it for that immediate show. You're doing that for the shows coming up.
Right.
The lead up that they had into Monday Night Raw started with, of course, Mr. Bryan being less than happy. He accosted Stephanie McMahon in the ring, and she had him thrown out. The last part of the show, however, Stephanie McMahon, Vince McMahon, and Triple H were in the ring and they invited Bryan to come out. Of course, they had guards standing around the ring. They had the Shield standing guard. They had all of the WWE superstars lined up. And of course, they first had Orton come out so they could have the coronation of the champion, which they never do. But yeah, they had all that lined up. And then they invited, Bryan out. And when he came out, of course, he got beat up. I think that was a pretty easy call on that one, but it still nonetheless was a very good build up for that.
Oh yeah. I mean, and at first I tweeted that we could be seeing the second coming of Evolution, which I'm kind of mixed feelings about that, because what we're actually seeing is the second coming of the corporation.
And let me make you another prediction. Another prediction would be a big push, and I think you and I both know it's going to happen anyway, coming up with
Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett.
Yep, I agree.
Now, do you know why I'm bringing his name up right now on this particular moment?
I have an idea, but go ahead.
What was the biggest physical change to happen to Wade Barrett recently?
I don't know.
He shaved his beard.
Oh, that's true.
He is now clean shaven. He is in a position to be promoted as a leading man.
Right. Okay.
That was one reason why Daniel Bryan could not hold that position, because from a marketing standpoint, and now I'm going outside of wrestling storylines here. I'm not even going near them. From a pure marketing standpoint, WWE got this one right. They could not have Daniel Bryan as champion because with the beard, they would have marketing problems.
No.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? All the shirts that they have sold with a beard on it.
No question.
Duck Dynasty. Duck Dynasty is phenomenal.
No question.
All
and
truly
that is an exception to the
beards.
rule. Truly, that is a true exception to the rule.
And I think Daniel Bryan is.
But you will never see those guys on a calendar.
Well, it depends on the calendar.
Well, maybe for wall clippers. Maybe. But, I mean, the sex appeal just isn't there.
Right.
It has been proven. I know they don't do anything for me.
Well, maybe for women that dig beards.
But, and I know this is not a real popular thing. A lot of people are going to argue this just like you are trying to. However, I have on my side a lot of research that does tend to hold up exactly what I'm saying to be true. I don't like it being a person with a beard myself. I'm sitting here, I'm just as scruffy as they come. So I really don't care much for that idea that if I ever wanted to become a leading man in anything, one of the first things somebody who's good at corporate makeovers would probably have me do or really want me to do would be get rid of the beard.
Now, and I think this is a build-up for Daniel Bryan. I think he signified himself as a main event player. And I don't know if you know this, but it has been publicly announced now that John Cena is going to be out 4 to 6 months.
Yes. Because of his injury. Yes. And that's
so
quite legit.
I think they're moving into Bryan, which is why I think he won cleanly, moving him into that Cena spot.
Well, if that happens, you mark my words, if that happens, he will lose his beard.
I don't think so. I think the beard is part of Daniel Bryan.
I think you're going to see some Samson and Delilah reference. Because there, with SummerSlam and on Monday Night Raw, Paul Heyman on at least 3 occasions cited biblical references. David and Goliath were a couple of the references. Monday Night Raw, there were a lot of references made toward the prodigal son. There are quite a few of them, and I'll bet you anything you're going to see a lot of Samson and Delilah references with Bryan and the beard, because I honestly think Bryan's going to lose that beard if they're going to push him up to a number 1 leading man position. It's
going to be interesting to see what happens. Corporation are building people around for Daniel Bryan to face, so it's going to be good. Stone Cold days all over again. Yep.
Man, you talk about a fast 30 minutes, and this was without any kind of a 1-minute break that we traditionally take. This is definitely going to be an interesting show. I don't know about you. My throat has about had it. Well, we're going to be back with you folks, of course, next week at a time yet to be determined. But we will be having our regular weekly shows coming your way right here. Catch us right here on Facebook, on YouTube, over on Twitter, and follow up on all of the action as we follow the action for you right here on SCI Professional Wrestling.